So we just finished circuits, class strength circuits, and this is actually your 10th class.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it comes up on the computer, it shows me how many classes you've done, like all the membership stuff and that. So this is actually your 10th class. So it's probably been about 3 months, because I think you missed a couple of weeks in that, so it wasn't like consecutive, but still 10 classes. It feels like you've been here for a lot longer than that.
Personality strong, bro.
In a good way. It does. It feels like I've known you for ages. I think we met through Chris, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, so this is your 10th class, and in those 10 classes, I've witnessed you smash loads of PBs, not even including today.
Yeah.
So you got 2 today, the squats and the tire, and your effort in every session is just exceptional. It's good to see, and I think it brings up the rest of the class as well.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's good. Like,
nice feedback.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's nice. Like, people come in and try, maybe not so confident, and then you've got, like, everybody talks about you and Chris just like smashing everything. I'm like, ignore them. Like, there's a different level.
We're just dickheads, though.
It's good to see, like, because obviously we want people to learn in the class as well. But I mean, you can come in like as like an intermediate lifter, or like fit already, and still get something out of it. That's a bonus for me as well, because it means that the class it can accommodate all levels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, would you agree with, like, it can,
so
it's adaptable?
I think like with doing it, like, obviously, like, you can accommodate all levels, because you've got people like myself and Chris and Laura as well, like, who are really like pushing themselves and like really lifting, and you've got people that come in for one time and they're like, oh my god, and they get a bit intimidated maybe by us, but then they actually realise that they're doing stuff. You're then coaching them through things as well, and it's kind of like you can see that maybe they're only lifting the bar to begin with, but you see their improvement as the sort of the first half of the class goes with the lift. You see that they start with the bar, but by the end they're way more confident and they've put weight on and stuff. So like, it is for all levels. It is, it's like, it's almost like scaled in that way. And it's the same with doing the circuit half of it. It's like, it's scaled. Like, obviously you can do things like the power bags, for instance, put them over the bar like today. You've got me doing like the 50s, 60s, but you've also got 30s out. So it's like, it's hard for everyone.
Whatever level they're at.
You can push yourself even harder. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like it is scaled. So I think it's accessible for all. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's exactly what we want it to be, is not to frighten off newcomers, because it can look quite intimidating. I mean, gym's intimidating anyway for a new person, but like, you come in and people are already clued up and know what they're doing, and especially people who've been coming to class for a few times, and like, we've done this one before, we know what we're doing, like going for PBs, and it can look pretty like, wow. Yeah,
it can, but then you've got things like, there was a girl who was here in the class last week, and when we were doing the clean and press, she started asking me, because I was obviously starting to push press towards the heavier weight. And then obviously I kind of like talked to her about it, and then you kind of clocked that and came and like actually properly coached her on it. And it's like, so that schooled her and learned her, and she's like not intimidated, because she's actually asking someone in the class as well, which
I think
is quite
the class
good.
is quite open like that. Like, everybody gets on. It's kind of got like more of a like a community now, because the same people tend to come to the same classes as well. So everybody's kind of learned who everybody is and what their levels are, and like, you see it on the tires a lot, and with the compound list, everybody's cheering everybody on, especially when they're going for like PBs and that, and that's awesome to see. Like, it's not kind of quietly ignored or held on to. It's everybody celebrates everybody, no matter what the level is, and that's pretty sweet. So like, do you think the structure works like the way they've got it set up? So we concentrate on one compound in the start, and then that's like, it's super coachable, and then just get blitzed on circuits afterwards.
I think it works so much so that like, I've started training like that outside of here as well. So there's another, like the other gym I go to, there's a class I do on a Wednesday, and there's literally, it's all like high intensity stuff, ski ergs and air bikes and roars and all that kind of stuff. But then I'll arrive at the gym about 45 minutes before the class starts, and I'll literally work on a lift.
Nice.
And I'll, like, sometimes I'll maybe do a bit of routine, but 9 times out of 10 I'll literally just work on one lift. And then I'm finding myself even doing that, and then like bettering myself by doing that, so that when I come here, I'm kind of that as well. So
on it.
if I've done, for instance, like last week we did clean and press. So on Wednesday, when I did that class, I did bent over rows. And then obviously knowing today we're coming in to do squats, so I'll make sure I'm not going to do something I'm going to do today, and something I've done last week, I'll do something opposite. But yeah, so like I've started structuring that in my own workouts
nice.
personally outside of it. So I think it works because I like, and I've always kind of enjoyed doing like more high intensity, like fast paced stuff.
Yeah, so you're still getting
rather
the
than
strength
just doing
side
sets for reps, but I've always done it kind of with like weight anyway, so I've always done it with strength stuff.
Okay.
So now I feel like I'm getting that mix, like the actual
you
proper
best of
strength,
both worlds,
and I'm getting the kind of like higher intensity stuff. So
yeah,
I think it's structured well.
Yeah, that's decent. Yeah, I like that. I like the way that it was set. 'Cause it never started like that, but we evolved it really quickly on, because I had a couple other PTs in watching and doing it. That was actually worse. That was so nerve-wracking, because it's basically all my peers come in to do the first class.
And judging you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But with all the ideas we threw around, and then built that pretty much off the straight, off the first class before it even got rolled out. It made it what it was, and it works. Because I had a different setup in another gym because of the limited equipment and time and things and the level of people that were doing it. But this works, I think, with the structure. And because we've got so much time at the start, I can move around and properly coach people. And then people that don't need coaching, like yourself, don't need that much input. I don't think I've really coached it that much on most lifts, but more like encouragement of going for like PBs and getting
I would
confidence
say that,
and getting
like,
worked up to do a lift. That it's getting more breaking down self-belief barriers rather than actually like teaching you how to lift that lift.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously I've been lifting training now for quite some time, like sort of 15 odd years or so. Yeah. So it's kind of like over the time I have learned how to do stuff. Yeah. And then obviously with different people that I've trained with over the years and stuff, and like actual like bodybuilder guys to like actual like fucking athletic guys and stuff from the military, all that stuff. The different things I've done, I've obviously kind of learned a lot. Yeah. Anyway, so obviously, but I'm always open for improvement and always open for coaching, because obviously there has been a few times you've picked up and like tried doing it this way and stuff. Yeah. But it's not been strict coaching like maybe you've done with some of the other people.
Yeah, just more
and
suggestions.
It has been more like encouragement to make me push harder and push further, and it has worked, you know.
That's good. Yeah. Is that helpful? Do you ever find it annoying?
No.
That's good.
No.
That's good. Sometimes I'm like preaching at the choir kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think that also comes down to like, you're obviously a coach and I'm not. Yeah. So I'm always open to listening to people. Yeah. You know, I teach like in a daily basis and stuff as well. So because of that, I'm always aware of like other people might have different methods to me anyway. So I'm always looking to improve what I can do by taking other people's methods. Yeah. And like I said, because you're actually a coach and I'm not, I'll take that on board regardless. And then the encouragement is like that's like what I need, because I've trained solo for so long. Yeah, that
it's nice when there's somebody there like, getting that kind of instant feedback. I think it's me, even as a coach, like I've learned off of clients and off of class members as well, because you don't know what they've picked up, what the personal experience is and stuff. And like even yesterday, I learned something off another coach, and it was just a curiosity thing that got us talking about it, and it was like, try this, and I'm like, holy shit, like literally fixed my squat overnight, which was insane. So it's like, there's no point in thinking because you're at a certain level, you know everything. Like there's always more to learn, or different perspective even, and even just trying it to fit. It might not work, but it might, or you take some kind of hybrid from it, and you're just forever developing. It's always progress. So it's good to know that like even at your level, you're still getting bits out of it. Yeah. Even if it's not strict on coaching, because there is some people that need like more attention. Yeah. And some people don't like hardly need any. Roy as well is doing the same as what you do. So he trains with me. Yeah. And he's got a program, but he fits in this class as well. Yeah. And so like whatever we're doing in the class, he'll work his training, he'll switch his training days around about that. So if we're doing deadlifts in here, he'll move his deadlifts to the other end of the week, or just kill the deadlifts off and do the rest of the session after this kind of thing. So it's good that like it can work in with people's training session as well. And I think that's why Chris was asking for me to put up on socials what we're actually doing in the class that week.
I think for him
it was a bit slow to do.
Yeah, for him, I think it helps because obviously he's not always here. Yeah. So when he is here, it means he knows what he's he's going to be doing and what he's going to be coming into. And for me as well, I like it because then, like I said, I've obviously started doing other stuff, so I can train around it. I mean, I always do legs day on a Monday, regardless. Like that has always been a thing. Because like legs day is my favourite muscle group anyway.
Squats on Tuesday.
But I don't. Yeah, so.
I think so you said you've not done bench in this class before, but we'll be doing, it'll be bench in the morning next week. Okay. Because we've done that. Is it bench? No, bench on the second class on Friday next week. Yeah. So it'll be because we've done it first session this week, so it'll be Tuesday and then second class next Friday. So we get a shot at benching next week. Cool. So that'd be cool to look at that and see if
I'd like to try that because
even if you keep it light and we just keep an eye on the shoulder and see.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, because when I was actually although it was just like incline dumbbells on Tuesday this week, but when I was doing it, it's not as niggly. It's more the overhead stuff that's actually more niggly, which is stupid because that's what I've been doing. But so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Have a look at that, see how your shoulder's going. I've pretty much gone through everything that I've written down. So actually, you've got quite a few PBs in the class. Yeah. And there's a couple that stand out for me, but I'm interested to see what you think first. Is there any one point or a couple of bits that's happened that's really stuck with you, that was awesome?
So the big PBs for me that stand out are the first time the first PB in squats, and then again today, because literally 6 months ago I was suffering torn tendon.
I remember we took it easy on the squats.
So, but I'm also doing it with very minimal amount of equipment to help me. So I mean, even then today, I was up at the 90-100 kilos without putting the belt on. And then it was once I went above the 100 and put the belt on. So it's little things like that. So that stands out. I've never been that great at deadlifts, so doing the deadlift as well.
Yeah, deadlifts are awesome.
And again with my shoulder, doing the clean and presses over the last few times. Yeah. I feel I don't know if partly it feels for me it's the strength's always been there. Is more what it feels like, and it's more the confidence to push it. And stuff. So yeah, they pretty much all stand out to me, but the one that really sticks in my head is the squats, the deads, and that clean and press.
Yeah, so so the clean and press was one for me for the determination you put in for getting that, and even after failing it a few times, then coming back and smashing it it was nothing. It's ridiculous, and it just shows you what is just a couple of tweaks or a shift in mindset, and then. I think the first one that really stuck with me was the deadlift, and I think you were positioned up here on the top side.
This end.
Yeah, and you were going for a PB, it wasn't happening, and then I think I was more excited than you. Just kind of get pumped up, get amped up for it, tell how to just step up to the bar, not waste any time to go for it, and you killed it. Yeah, it was
because it went from none to then 3 reps.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So it was definitely always there, and it just showed what difference in a mindset could make to basically gave you strength. Yeah, so it's ridiculous. But that's awesome to see. It's a barrier that I've had to deal with as well, and so I'm really fond of that. Evoking that response in the body, getting it ready to go and lift heavy and just knock self-limiting beliefs out completely. All right. So we'll go with this. This turned out from a 5-minute interview to a fucking podcast. I like it. I just bust the whole fucking thing. The last question, right? Who's going to take the title on the leaderboard for the tire out of you and Chris? Because you're at the top right now.
100% Chris.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because Chris is stronger than me and he's faster than me. So I know that. Okay. Do you know what I mean? 100% I know it's going to be Chris because he's stronger than me and faster than me, and I've always that. So whenever we do train together, it's always him leading anyway. So as much as a lot of it is always me coming up with what we're going to do, but it's him that's always kind of leading the kind of charge with that. So I'm gonna say Chris, but we're not going to tell him how many reps I got. So I'm going to wait and see how many he gets, and then we'll tell him how many reps I got.
That's good. Absolutely killed. We added on 2 reps to that today, 40 seconds, 8. I mean that's impressive. Yeah. I mean, can you remember when we first started doing that? What we were sitting at? 4 or 5 reps.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and
Probably
it's
the
a heavy
first
tire.
time.
It's awkward. It's an awkward implement, and I think that's why I keep it in as well, because it's kind of become the thing.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
like
class.
it's a staple for everyone
Yeah.
to achieve the tire. Do you know what I mean? And then you
And-
had the girl last week that obviously did it as well, first time and stuff. So I think it's
Yeah.
like, it's definitely like something that people want to try and achieve. So I think it's awesome to keep it.
Yeah, and it's such a hard thing to do, and then when you get it, it's like amazing. Like, it just feels good. And then repping it out is just next level. I'm gonna have to up my game because I set the standard at 10 reps, and I'm like, shit, it's getting close. So I'll wait till you get to like 9, and then I'll move it.
Okay, so next week.
Next week, yeah. I want to see it. It's good. I think you speed it up. You gain some time on it today because like it's easy to get the lift part done, and then you're like, it's done, and then you just let it fall and kind of saunter around the other side. And even if you're running, it takes quite a while for it to fall as well.
Yeah.
So I think the trick is to like get it lifted and then force it down, so it speeds up the down time, and then you're running around at the same time. And just getting a good pick on it the next time round. Just keep going.
Yeah. Well, the hardest thing for me with it is that obviously you can get it up and just push it, whereas I've got to use my thigh to then get it high enough to push it. So once I'm a little bit stronger, I can get that part out and get the lift
it's
and
just
the
that
push.
explosiveness off the ground definitely helps. Super taxing as well. But it becomes a mind over matter thing as well. So have you ever done Grace?
No.
It is horrific. It's 60 kilo on the bar, floor to overhead, like clean and press. Excuse me. 30 reps fast as you can. It is grim as hell. I think the first time I got roped in to do it, conditioning was poor as hell at the time. It was like a high rocks guy that was doing it. And it was I think it got 2 minutes 30, something like that. And he told me afterwards, like, below 2 minutes is like elite.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
he was like, you need to do it again. I'm not doing it again. But it was one of those things, and I've carried it forward into the strongman stuff as well, is when you're feeling gassed.
Yeah.
I usually, like, you get to a point where like your brain's like, you're not getting enough oxygen. But if you've not passed out, you're still getting enough, and it's that kind of thing, like you're moving away from homeostasis and your body's like, you're gonna die, something bad's happening, you need to stop this and get back comfortable sitting on a couch eating cake. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, so let's stop. But you can override it. It takes a bit of practice, but I get to that point where like, I am breathing, I'm getting enough oxygen, otherwise I wouldn't be moving still. So it's just like pushing through that, and that happened for me at about like 15 reps, and he's like, just keep going. Like, it was so horrible. That 2 minutes lasted forever, but taking that forward now, it's like and I say it to people often, like, you're still standing, die afterwards, just keep pushing through. Like, it's not that long a time. It feels like it is, but it's not. So you just keep going, it'll be over before you know it, and then you can breathe and die and roll about on the floor after that. Do you know what I mean? But it pushes you forward, and you get more time from it, and that experience and that new kind of mental capacity to push harder as well. I think that's super important.
I didn't realise it had been as many classes as that. Like,
10 classes.
I knew it had been a while, but I didn't realise it had been as many as that. It still felt like it's only like maybe like 6 or 7.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because I
good,
missed
so it
that
means you're
couple of
not
weeks
bored.
because I've been away with the school holidays and stuff. I don't know if it was a bit of that made me feel like it's not been as.
Yes, I think at the beginning
long,
you were like, it was like every second week kind of, because you were coming with Chris, and then you started coming by yourself.
Yeah, because then I came with Chris, and then obviously because he's up and down depending on work and stuff. Like I've then started coming myself as well. And then definitely. I know I had a week out when I was away in school holidays, but like I didn't realise it'd been as long as that. But I enjoy it, and that's the thing. And it's now like my training all kind of works around this now a lot more than anything. Like for a long time, I've not had a program anyway, because I started finding that it was like I'm getting stale, and I was getting more and more bored. And the only thing I do that's always kind of similar is like my leg day. Everything else I'll just do what I feel like on the day, kind of thing, based on what we've done this week and what, that kind of idea. So
fair enough.
So I've kind of always kind of done that. But then on that note, like when I was saying I was doing obviously 2 PBs today.
Yeah.
My bent over row on Wednesday, PB bent over row on Wednesday as well.
Nice.
So PB in here was 90, that was on Wednesday, I did 95. So,
Cool.
you know,
Yeah,
it's like,
that's good.
it's like I've taken the ethos from what I've been getting through this from you
Yeah.
and putting it into like the rest of my training
nice.
as well. So I've been trying to kind of like consistently do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's you pick up bits and pieces from everyone, even if
Yeah.
it's not intended. Do you know what I mean? Like I've learned
100%.
heaps from loads of different people, and like I say, even clients that don't necessarily know, like have. Sometimes that's the problem. Is sometimes you've got the knowledge that you've got, and this was the same when I was in the Sparky world as well. And like somebody will come up knowing absolutely fuck all about what you're talking about, and I'm like, how do you know just do it this way? And you're like, oh, yeah, that actually would work really well. Because
totally.
you try to be too technical, you try to
Yeah,
think
because you've
like,
got so much knowledge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
And-
you're taking a step back sometimes and just thinking about it simply is.
And the funny thing is as well is that, like, obviously just in the fitness world, what I've learned over the years is from all the different people you learn stuff from, someone's going to contradict someone somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. And
So someone will say you do it like this, and someone will say you don't do it like that, you do it like
Yeah.
this. Do you know what I mean? So you're always going to have that.
Yeah, yeah. And some
it's
people
like,
get stuck in their ways.
that'll
And
kind of like, yeah.
what works for somebody might not work for somebody else.
And
then,
everything evolves
yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
Everything evolves, you know. So what like people were doing in the 50s
yeah.
is going to be different 75 years later. Do you know what I mean?
No, I appreciate it, man.
That's
Appreciate
right.
you
Thank you.
coming and doing
Thanks
this.
for being a good
and,
coach.